Welcome, Carlton.
Hey.
Yeah, nice to meet
Congratulations. Now, is it Gucci?
Gucci.
Okay, so we were watching because
Yeah.
Fred and I stayed here in the studio. Mike and Evan went to the press conference. We were trying to figure out, as Fred says, what you were wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all Gucci down.
Yeah, I was like, it can't be Coach. No, he wouldn't do
No.
Coach.
Gucci.
You got good taste.
You like
you
that.
got good taste. Yeah, you got good taste.
Well, welcome. This is Deuce, Mike.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Fred, Paul, and Evan.
Nice to meet you guys.
Welcome to New England.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
This is great. We were excited just watching at the podium, and you were talking about lining up with Gonzo, and we're excited about that too because being able, like Coach Vrabel said, cats, just take
Cat
your
coverage.
What?
Yeah, and let's go one-on-one and
Yeah.
let the other guys get at the quarterback and
Oh,
play
yeah.
that complementary type of football.
Yeah.
Is that something that excites you as well?
Of course,
Yeah.
it excites me, especially like being able to go and play with Gonzo, a guy who I know can hold his own and has shown it in previous years. And when you can play that type of football, especially for defense, like he said, it allows somebody to rush the pass a little bit more efficiently, and then it also puts pressure on the quarterback because you're playing tight coverage, and now he's not just picking you off in zone. And when you need to play man to man, you could play it. I've been on teams where we played man to man like 80% of the snaps, and that's the more efficient way to get the offense off the field and get 3 and outs quickly. And now you're putting your offense back on the field, and he's getting more chances, and you're just giving him more chances to get in the end zone.
But you got to be able to do man on man.
Got to be able to do it.
There's a downside if you're losing those battles, then right.
It can be bad. It can be bad, but it takes a certain type of guy to want to do it and to continue to do it because you may not be perfect, but you have to have that dog mentality where I'm going to come back and I'm going to win, I'm going to fight. And then you have to have good technique in it. And, that's something I've been doing my whole career. We've had a lot of success behind it at Detroit and at Tampa when we were able to do it and allow the guys to just rush the pasture. So I can't wait to really go out there and just lock up and really show everybody what we can do.
Yeah.
How much pride do you take in the physicality of your game? Because it seems like you're a good compliment to Gonzo, but that's you.
Yeah, that is me. I do love to be physical. I do love to, instill fear and kind of be a bully out there. If I'm being quite honest, I like to have that intimidation factor, knowing that they watched the film from last week and they've been watching the film. And in their meetings, their coaches were talking about, this guy is a bully, and this guy's going to press you, and this guy's going to close space on you, and you can tell, like, you get out there, you can just look at a receiver and his coach is watching film, his coach told him, because he's a little nervous, he's a little, just antsy about what's about to happen, and he knows you're going to press him, and you're not going to give him too much space.
That sounds like Jamar Chase knew. I did a little study on you.
Yeah. I don't think he knew, but I feel like he found out, and I think he's a great player. I don't really like to antagonize situations, but I do love to, give respect and get respect.
Yeah. And does that competitiveness and physicality extend to practice too? Do you like to get it on with your teammates and challenge that offense?
It starts in practice.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that doesn't happen in the game if it's not in practice. And, when I was younger, I didn't appreciate practice as much, and I didn't, understand how important it was until I had, times where I would BS in practice and then try to cut it on in the game, and it does not work. Like, you can't do it. Like, even if you're telling yourself mentally, I'm going to do this, you'll get in the game and you just kind of freeze up because the muscle it's called muscle memory.
Yeah.
It's muscle memory. That's it.
Yep.
Just your length, your arm length, and all that stuff. I remember you coming out of the draft, and that was all the talk about you. Is I think you're 95th percentile with your wingspan for a corner.
Yeah.
Just how does that help you? In terms of pressing guys or even getting in passing lanes.
You know what? I use it to my advantage, and people say, "Well, you have long arms," but there's a lot of guys who have long arms. But I think the key to that is being deceptive in your reach. So a lot of times with boxers or MMA fighters, and I'm not sure if you guys are big fans of that, but it's all about the reach and all about how deceptive you can be in touching your opponent or being in that range to touch them. So for me, I'm a little deceptive with my spatial awareness and knowing when I can and can't touch them. And then also, like, if I'm at the line and I'm close up on you, sometimes you'll kind of anticipate me touching you because you think I have long arms, but I just give you some space so I can allow you to commit and then put my arms on you. Or sometimes I'm at the point where obviously film doesn't give you, exactly the dimensions of my arms, or you don't know it until you really see me. So sometimes when you see me in a game and it's the first time you see me, you're not really too sure, like you've seen it on film, but you haven't experienced it. So when I do get in front of you, it's kind of different when, okay, I got enough space, but you really don't.
Yeah.
Like one step and I'm going to touch you. So I kind of use it as a deceptive tool in my game where I'm not like, trying to be overly aggressive, but I'm trying to kind of, size it up.
Yeah, Paul and I are in the over 70 bare knuckles league.
Oh, yeah.
We're not over 70, but
Fred
those
is.
are the
Fred is.
only guys that we can fight.
Paul's not. Paul's only over 50, not 70.
I want no problems with you guys.
I wanted to ask you, Carlton, about, I think you were quoted before the free agent process started that
Yeah.
you sort of regretted the way you approached it last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some of the differences, what you felt like you were able to do this time in terms of the whole process that you didn't do last year?
So the last time I hit free agency with Tampa, I just felt as if I panicked. And I wouldn't say panic, but, when free agency starts, it's going fast. And, you got to make a decisive decision. You need to, make that decision fast because as the longer you wait, the more the money goes down. And I feel as if, I didn't want to leave where I was at. And, when we started talking, my agent wasn't really getting nowhere with the negotiations. And I was just saying, all right, I just kind of panicked and say, just take it. And, after talking to other people after the fact, it kind of felt as if I left money on the table. And I kind of felt that way too, even if it was like maybe a mil or so short. In this league, you want to be as efficient as possible because you never know when it could be your last game. So, I was kind of frustrated with that process back then, and I knew I was hoping that me and Detroit could get something done before I hit free agency, and that was, my mind frame going into it that I wouldn't even hit it because we were already being negotiations, and it just wasn't going the way I planned it to go. So I was just kind of frustrated with it. Like, if I hit free agency this time, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to, make the right decision, and I'm going to go where I'm wanted. And I'm not going to just, stay because I'm nervous or I'm panicking or I don't want to change situations. So that was really the message.
Yeah, that was going to be a follow-up, is just how difficult it was to leave Detroit, which I know it was obviously disappointing end for you guys, but still one of the best 2 or 3 teams in football. How tough was that to walk away from?
That was tough. It was really tough, honestly, because I just moved from a situation. I just, got comfortable there. And I'm not a guy who wants to team hop. Like, I'm trying to play hard for the organization, and eventually, buy into it and they buy into me. So, that was my plan when I did get traded there, was to, leave a good enough impression where they would want to extend me, and I could be there for the rest of my career. So, leaving was tough. I just had good bonds with the guys, and I still have good bonds with them, and I still respect them, and I still, love them as teammates, man. And, a lot of those guys reached out to me during this process, and they wanted me to get a deal done. And even after the fact, when I, chose to come here, they still reached out to me and, was just happy for the time I did spend there and congratulated me. So it was tough. I love the city. I did grow to love it. And just, winning, when you're winning like that and you have so much success, especially in that division.
Loved you guys.
Man, it was a time for Detroit, man. It was a great time, and it still is. Yeah. So it was hard for me to leave, but, ultimately I had to do what was best for my career and go where I was wanted and prioritized.
Oh, you win here, we'll love you too.
Oh, man, I mean, that's the plan. Like, I'm not coming here to just, soak it in and just, I'm happy. Like, no, I'm not here to do that. Like, I'm here to win. Yeah. That's all I ever been about. In my career, I've been trying to just be the best I can be and help the team the best way I can. And in those little steps, you take big steps, because, it's the small details that make the biggest leaps. And, talking to Terrence Williams before I came here, he was just like, he felt as if that, after I signed, he felt like we were closer to being good than other people thought. Like, he was like, man, now that we got you and the guys, he felt as if, people, may look at that record last year and may think, well, they have a ways to go. It doesn't matter, who they bring in. But in this league, it's just the small things. It could be 1, 2, 3 players that just change it and turn it all around with the leadership, with the play on the field, with the plays they make, the timely plays. Because, in games, it's just the difference is just a couple plays if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
And third down situations, red zone situations. So when you get better in those fields and you have better players situationally,
Yep.
you can be better overall.
Yeah, as Coach Vrabel said when he came here first, he said, we just want to be a team that takes advantage of bad football.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you coming by.
No
I
problem,
know it's
man.
been a kind of whirlwind today, so we'll let you get back at it. But
Yeah.
welcome to New England.
Thank you guys for having
Thank
me,
you.
man.
All right.
I'm happy to meet you guys.
Okay,
I'll see you
thank
soon.
you. Thank you.
What number did they get you there?
Seven.
7? All right.
Is that going to be your
There
number?
you go.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
7.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.